The Galactic Council had never gathered with such curiosity mixed with condescension as it did that day on the shining glass domes of Zorath, a planet known for hosting some of the most powerful leaders in the galaxy. These beings, each representing their own vast civilizations that spanned countless star systems, sat in the Great Chamber, their eyes fixed on the holographic image hovering above the center of the room, a swirling blue and green sphere, Earth. For many centuries, humans had been little more than a faint signal on the edge of known space, a minor curiosity dismissed by most species as primitive and irrelevant. But recent reports suggested otherwise. It was the latest data from the Deep Space Scouts that had sparked this special session. Humanity, the report said, was advancing faster than anyone expected. The leaders leaned forward, some exchanging sly smiles, ready to mock the lesser species that dared to reach beyond their tiny world. The Eldrin Chancellor, a tall figure with shimmering silver skin and eyes that glowed faintly like stars, began to speak with a voice that carried the weight of centuries. "Humans," he said, his tone dripping with disdain, "are nothing but fragile creatures bound to a single planet. Their technology is outdated by centuries, their bodies weak, and their emotions volatile. They lack the discipline and harmony we have achieved. They are not a threat, nor even worthy of serious attention." A wave of quiet laughter rippled through the chamber, as many leaders nodded in agreement. Yet, some in the room cast sideways glances at the data streaming alongside the hologram images of human cities, glowing with energy, strange machines rising into the sky, and vessels venturing beyond their atmosphere with unprecedented speed. The representative from the Tharn Collective, a species known for their curiosity and open minds, frowned slightly but said nothing. It was clear that the majority preferred to dismiss the humans as primitive, holding fast to their belief that no species could rise so quickly without hiding a flaw. "Their communications are simple," a reptilian voice sneered from the far side of the chamber. "Their signals show little sophistication. How could they possibly pose a challenge when their own history is filled with conflict and chaos?" The Eldrin Chancellor smiled coldly. "Exactly. Their emotions make them unpredictable and unstable. We thrive on order. They will destroy themselves before they reach the stars." As the council continued their mocking conversation, they failed to notice a subtle shift in the room, a slight hum beneath the floor, a faint pulse in the air, almost imperceptible, but enough to stir an unease in the younger delegates. Far from the laughter and scorn, the humans on Earth had no idea their fate was being debated in a distant chamber. They were busy solving their own problems, harnessing new energy sources, managing fragile alliances, and preparing to send the first manned mission beyond their solar system. The irony was that the very thing the Galactic Council mocked was the thing that made humanity dangerous: their unpredictability, their ability to adapt and innovate under pressure. The Eldrin Chancellor's words echoed in the chamber as he concluded, "We shall observe them, send a scout vessel to confirm their true capabilities. But make no mistake, they are beneath us." The scout ship Varel was soon dispatched, its sleek form slipping silently through the void toward the blue planet. The leaders returned to their halls, their conversations tinged with amusement, but also an undercurrent of curiosity that none admitted aloud. Unknown to them, suspense hung thick in the air, for this was only the beginning. The mocking of humans would soon turn to regret, but not before the galaxy witnessed a transformation that would shake every world in the Council to its core. The Varel slid quietly through the cold darkness of space, its sensors locked on the blue planet below. Earth, a world that many in the Galactic Council had dismissed as weak and unimportant. The crew aboard the ship was filled with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. They had been sent to gather more information, expecting to find little more than a primitive society struggling to survive, maybe a few simple machines and no real threat. But what they found was nothing like that. As they approached the orbiting space station, gleaming with metal and glass that caught the sunlight in dazzling patterns, the crew's skepticism began to fade. Below, sprawling cities with towering skyscrapers reached into the clouds, and vast energy grids pulsed with power unseen before by any other species. The human captain who met them was calm and steady, his voice clear over the comms as he welcomed the aliens to Earth's territory. His eyes held a strange confidence, not prideful, but certain, like a man who knew exactly what he was capable of and what he was responsible for protecting. The Viral's crew was invited aboard the station, a place buzzing with activity and life. Humans moved about with purpose, operating machines that bent gravity, controlled energy flows, and managed vast fleets of ships ready for exploration or defense. The aliens saw devices that seemed like magic technology that could rearrange matter, generate force fields, and interface with artificial intelligences that learned and adapted faster than any being they had ever met. One scientist from the Viral crew tried to dismiss it as trickery, but even they could not deny the evidence before their eyes. Humans worked together, arguing sometimes, but always finding solutions quickly. Their societies united in ways that many galactic species had forgotten. Despite their emotional nature, humans had found balance through shared goals and an understanding of their limits and strengths. The Viral sensors detected the planet's military satellites and defense systems, all operating in perfect harmony, ready to protect their world at a moment's notice. For the first time, the crew began to feel a flicker of fear, a fear born not of aggression, but respect for an unknown power. When the human captain offered a tour of their newest starship, a vessel designed for deep space exploration with technology that combined speed, durability, and adaptability, the Viral's crew saw how far humans had come in just a few decades. It was a ship built not just for battle, but for survival and discovery, an extension of the human spirit itself. The alien captain, a stern and proud warrior, tried to maintain his composure, but could not hide the tension in his voice when he asked about the ship's defensive system. The human smiled and said, "We do not seek conflict, but we will protect what is ours." The phrase echoed in the minds of the Viral crew long after the meeting ended. Back on the Galactic Council's homeworld, the reports from the Viral created a storm of debate and disbelief. Some leaders accused the crew of exaggeration. Others called for immediate action to contain the humans before they could grow stronger. But the Eldrin Chancellor, who had dismissed humans so easily before, sat quietly and considered the facts. He knew that this meeting had changed everything. The humans were no longer the weak species they had mocked. They were something new, resilient, united, and rapidly advancing in ways the galaxy had never seen. As the Viral returned to Zorath, its crew could not help but wonder what would happen next. Would the Galactic Council still see humans as a joke, or would they realize that a new power was rising in the stars? The silence that followed was filled with tension, the calm before a storm that would sweep across the galaxy and force every leader to rethink what they thought they knew. The humans, unaware of the full extent of the Council's reaction, continued their work, pushing the boundaries of science and diplomacy, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The first contact had not gone as anyone expected, and the true story of humanity was just beginning to unfold. After the unexpected and revealing first contact, the Galactic Council found itself divided and unsettled, struggling to understand what this rising human species truly represented. The Eldrin Chancellor, once dismissive and cold, realized the risk in underestimating humanity, and despite resistance from many members who clung to old prejudices, a decision was made to test the humans' true strength and character. Earth was invited to propose representatives for a unique challenge, a series of trials held aboard a newly constructed space station orbiting an uninhabited planet. The invitation was both a gesture of diplomacy and a subtle warning, designed to expose weaknesses and assert the Council's superiority. The humans accepted without hesitation, sending a diverse team of diplomats, strategists, and warriors, each selected not only for skill but for their ability to work together despite differences in background and belief. The galactic leaders dispatched their finest, the elite warriors and most cunning diplomats, confident that the humans' unpredictability would be their downfall. As the day of the trials approached, tension built on both sides. The space station was an imposing structure, cold and metallic, filled with complex systems designed to challenge any being's physical and mental limits. The first trial was a test of combat skill and endurance, set in a zero-gravity arena where the humans faced off against several seasoned alien warriors. At first, the aliens dominated, their strength and experience clear. But the humans adapted quickly, using unexpected tactics and teamwork that caught their opponents off guard. One human, A young soldier with quick reflexes and a keen mind coordinated moves with his teammates, turning the tide in ways the aliens had never seen. The battle ended in a draw, leaving the council members surprised and uneasy. The second trial was a test of strategy and diplomacy, a simulated negotiation to resolve a conflict that could erupt into war. Here, the humans shined again. They listened carefully, respected differing opinions, and found compromises that others considered impossible. Their ability to balance emotion with reason allowed them to navigate complex political waters with grace, earning wary nods from even the most skeptical alien diplomats. As the trials progressed, the humans faced puzzles requiring rapid innovation, teamwork exercises pushing their endurance, and simulations testing their ability to lead and follow in turn. With each success, the Council's initial mockery turned into reluctant admiration. The Eldrin Chancellor watched closely, noting how the humans combined their unpredictable nature with a steadfast commitment to unity and progress. Yet, it was not just their victories that shocked the Council, but their ability to learn from failure, to adapt swiftly, and return stronger each time. The final trial was the most demanding a test of trust and sacrifice. Teams were separated, forced to rely on communications and belief in one another's decisions to survive simulated disasters and enemy attacks. The humans excelled not because they were the strongest or the fastest, but because they refused to give up on each other, even when hope seemed lost. Their spirit, forged in the fires of countless challenges on their own world, proved to be an unexpected weapon more powerful than any technology. When the trials ended, the Council was forced to admit that humans were far beyond the simple creatures they had dismissed. Their unpredictability was not weakness, it was their greatest strength, coupled with an unbreakable will to survive and grow. The Eldrin Chancellor stepped forward, his voice echoing through the chamber as he acknowledged the humans' achievements and warned the Council that ignoring this new force would be a grave mistake. The humans had shown not only their strength, but their willingness to engage and learn, offering a new model of cooperation for the galaxy. As the humans returned to Earth, their victory was not just in the trials but improving their place among the stars. Yet, even with their success, the future remained uncertain. The Council's fear and respect for humanity grew in equal measure, and shadows of conflict lurked beneath the surface. The challenge was over, but the true test was only just beginning, one that would determine if humans could lead the galaxy toward a new era or be crushed by those who still clung to old power and fear. The story of humanity had reached a critical turning point, and every eye in the galaxy was watching to see what would come next. The victory of humanity in the Galactic Council's trials was not celebrated everywhere. In fact, it stirred fear and anger among powerful factions who saw the rise of humans as a threat to their long-held dominance over the galaxy. Behind closed doors, whispers turned into plans of sabotage, and those who had once mocked humanity now sought to crush it before Earth could become too strong. A secret group within the Council, known as the Shadow Conclave, decided to act swiftly and decisively. They coordinated a surprise strike aimed at crippling Earth's defenses, hoping that a sudden, overwhelming attack would scatter humanity's united front and send a message to other emerging powers. The humans, however, had not been idle. Their intelligence networks had already picked up unusual movements in deep space, subtle but clear signals of an impending assault. Unlike the other species, humans trusted their instincts and their allies, mobilizing a defense that combined cutting-edge technology with their unyielding spirit. As the Shadow Conclave's fleet advanced through the void, Earth's orbital stations lit up with warning sirens and mobilized their defense fleets. The battle that followed was unlike any the galaxy had seen, a fierce clash not just of ships and weapons, but of wills and determination. Humans fought not only to protect their planet, but to prove that their unity was stronger than fear and hatred. The skies above Earth became a swirling storm of energy beams, missile volleys, and daring maneuvers as human pilots, many barely out of training, faced veteran warriors of countless wars. Despite being outnumbered, the humans' innovative tactics and relentless courage kept the enemy at bay. On the front lines, a young pilot named Mira became a symbol of human resilience, her ship weaving through enemy fire with a blend of instinct and precision that inspired those around her. Meanwhile, on the command decks, human leaders coordinated their forces with calm efficiency, adapting strategies in real time as new threats emerged. The alien attackers soon realized they had underestimated humanity's ability to learn and evolve under pressure. The tide of battle shifted when human AI systems, connected across fleets, began predicting enemy moves and coordinating counterattacks faster than any individual commander could. This unprecedented level of cooperation stunned the attackers and frustrated their attempts to break the human defense. But the battle was far from over. As the fight dragged on, the Shadow Conclave deployed covert operatives to sabotage Earth's infrastructure from within, hoping to destabilize human morale and weaken their resistance. Yet, humans proved resilient in unexpected ways. Their communities rallied to support each other, repair damage, and root out infiltrators. Trust and determination became weapons as sharp as any laser cannon. Captured operatives revealed the depth of the conspiracy, forcing the Galactic Council's more moderate factions to confront the dangerous ambitions of the Shadow Conclave. Faced with evidence, some leaders who had long ignored humanity's potential began advocating for peace and alliance rather than continued conflict. In a tense council session broadcast across the galaxy, the Eldrin Chancellor condemned the Shadow Conclave's betrayal and called for unity in facing the new galactic reality shaped by humans' emergence. The turning point had come not only on the battlefield but in the hearts and minds of those who once doubted. Humanity's victory was not just military, but moral, demonstrating that fear and aggression could be overcome by courage, cooperation, and an unyielding will to survive. As the Council opened the door to dialogue with Earth, humans prepared for a future where their role in the galaxy would be defined not by the scorn of others, but by their own actions and ideals. The battle scars remained, and new challenges loomed, but for the first time, humans stood as equals among the stars, ready to shape the fate of the galaxy and prove that the strength of their spirit was greater than any weapon. The true journey was only just beginning, with all eyes watching, waiting, and wondering what the next chapter would hold. The end of the battle marked not only a military victory for humanity, but the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history, one filled with both hope and uncertainty. After the Shadow Conclave's defeat and the Galactic Council's reluctant acknowledgement of human strength, Earth found itself invited to join the Interstellar Alliance as a full member for the first time. This invitation was not just a political gesture. It symbolized the shifting balance of power and the opportunity for humans to influence the future of the galaxy. The humans, still cautious but determined, accepted with a vision to promote peace, innovation, and cooperation among all species, no matter how different. The council chambers, once filled with whispered doubts and veiled threats, now echoed with spirited debates that included human voices advocating for new ideas, born from their own hard-won experience of survival and unity against overwhelming odds. Humans introduced concepts that had long been forgotten or ignored, such as transparent governance, respect for individual freedoms within collective security, and the importance of empathy even in the cold reaches of space. These proposals sparked both excitement and resistance. Some species embraced the human perspective, seeing it as a chance to break free from stagnant traditions that had caused endless wars and corruption. Others remained wary, suspicious of humanity's rapid rise and their unorthodox methods. Yet, humans did not back down. Instead, they worked harder to build trust, establishing exchange programs, joint research initiatives, and cultural missions that brought diverse civilizations closer together. One of the most ambitious projects was a multi-species expedition to explore the uncharted regions beyond the known galaxy. Led by a human admiral renowned for her courage and diplomatic skill, this mission symbolized humanity's commitment not just to their own future, but to the shared destiny of all sentient beings. The admiral's team included representatives from many worlds, each bringing unique knowledge and talents, united under a common goal: to discover new life, learn from ancient mysteries, and ensure peace beyond the stars. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the population faced the challenge of adapting to their new status. While many celebrated their place among the stars, others worried about the risks, political intrigues, cultural clashes, and the possibility of new enemies. The government worked tirelessly to maintain stability, promote education, and foster a sense of galactic citizenship among their people. The media buzzed with stories of alien visitors, joint festivals, and groundbreaking discoveries, slowly changing the public's perception of the universe from a distant mystery to an interconnected home. Despite the progress, tensions remained beneath the surface. Some factions within the Galactic Council still plotted to undermine the alliance, fearful of losing control or influence. Humans remained vigilant, knowing that peace was fragile and required constant effort. But the Eldrin Chancellor, who had once dismissed humanity as insignificant, now stood beside the human representatives as an equal partner, often reminding others that strength was not only measured in power, but in the willingness to grow and change. The final scene of this new era was set as the joint exploration fleet prepared to depart. Amid cheers and solemn promises, the Admiral gave a speech that resonated across galaxies. "We stand not as conquerors or rulers, but as explorers and guardians of the future. Together, we will face the unknown with courage, curiosity, and respect." This is our time not just for humanity, but for all who seek to build a better galaxy. As the fleet slipped into the vast darkness beyond known space, Earth watched with hope and pride, knowing that the journey ahead was uncertain, but that their place among the stars was earned through resilience, unity, and the unbreakable human spirit. The galaxy had changed forever, and so had humanity, no longer mocked or feared, but respected and trusted as leaders in a new age of discovery and peace. The true adventure was only just beginning, and the universe waited with bated breath to see what wonders and challenges the future would bring.